Organization's 9th Ministerial Conference in Indonesia. The ministers agreed to meet in Bali after the Doha talks, which have been going on for about 12 years. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. Olusegun Aganga, said the resolution among African countries is that they will support the package as presented in Bali and work towards a deal in the next few days. The trade agreement is to streamline customs procedures, minimize unnecessary border delays, deliver jobs and opportunities in times of unemployment and slow growth. Under agriculture, the focus is on general services, stock holding for food security purposes, export competition, among other issues. And speaking of agriculture, the Minister, Akinwumi Adesina, has been named Forbes African of the Year. He received this title for his reforms in the country's farming sector and is described by Forbes Africa editor, Mr. Chris Bishop, as a man on a mission to help Africa feed itself. On his part, Mr. Adesina says his goal is to help create wealth for Nigerians and urged everyone to grow more food crops, especially cassava. Nigeria's economy has long been dominated by oil, while agriculture has been ignored for decades.
To the foreign scene now, but Nigeria is still very much involved here. The federal government has given permission for a plane to land in the country should the UK Home Office try again to deport failed asylum seeker Mr. Issa Muazu. Mr. Muazu was returned to the UK after a private jet chartered to take him to Nigeria on Friday was turned back. Nigeria's aviation ministry told the BBC that permission has now been granted for a privately chartered jet carrying Mr. Muazu to land in Nigeria, although the aviation ministry adds that it's not clear if any flight is imminent.
According to officials, the relevant documents for the flight had not been completed. Mr. Muazu has been on hunger strike for more than 100 days and said he's offered being killed. He was afraid of being killed by militants. The Home Office has rejected this argument and attempted to deport the 45-year-old on Friday last week after he lost a series of legal challenges. Mr. Muazu entered the UK on a visitor's visa in July 2007 and stayed without permission after it expired in January 2008.
In the Middle East, Lebanese Shia militant group Hezbollah has lost one of its key leaders. The group says Hassan Lakkes was assassinated near his home in Hadath, which is 7 kilometers southeast of the capital, Beirut. Hezbollah blamed Israel for his death, but the Jewish state has denied the accusation. This comes a day after the head of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, said Saudi Arabia was behind last month's bombings outside the Iranian embassy in Beirut. Iran is a major backer of Hezbollah, which has sent fighters to Syria to back the government of Bashar al-Assad. The conflict in Syria has increased sectarian tensions in its smaller neighbor.
Now in sports news, the long-awaited 2013 African Athletics Masters Championships will begin from December the 6th to December the 7th at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos.
That's right. President of the Nigerian Athletics Masters, Gloria Obajimi, tells Channels Television that the essence of the competition is to keep former athletes healthy and create the platform for them to interact with their former sporting rivals. Over 8 countries will be participating in this year's edition.
Encompassing of anybody, male and female, and it is all the events that we were doing when we were competing. If you are a 100-meter runner, a 400-meter runner, hurdles, you are doing walking, you want to do high jump, the events are all there for us, and so we've been inviting many of the Nigerian athletes, and we have about 150 that have signified that they want to be there. It's just fun, and for them to be able to see themselves after so many years, because we are all in different parts of this country and some people have gone out and have come back.
We want to develop athletics everywhere around the world for people to continue sports even after an elite career, or if they're only doing fitness. With us, you can join a community where you can enjoy also championship level and competition levels. So everyone wants to win at some time in his life and wants to be the superstar. Well, you can experience that in our community, in our championship.
In football, well, the Nigeria Football Federation President Aminu Megari says he is not setting the Super Eagles any targets for the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil, despite coach Stephen Keshi's contract stating that he needs to reach the quarter-finals. Megari has distanced himself and the NFF from the targets. He also said officials are expecting the African champions to surpass the quarter-final feats of Cameroon, Senegal and Ghana in previous World Cups. The three-time African champions have not won a match at the World Cup since beating Bulgaria in 1998, which is the last time the Super Eagles made it to the knockout stages. Oh, that's it on sports news. However, before we go, we end with this remarkable video, courtesy of the BBC, which shows the moment when a Nigerian, Harrison Okene, who had been trapped for almost 3 days underwater in a capsized ship, was rescued by divers.
Mr. Okene, who was the ship's cook, had taken refuge in an air pocket. Divers from the DCN Global Diving Company had been searching the remains of the tugboat, which sank to the bottom of the ocean off the Nigerian coast in May in order to recover the bodies of the sailors.
All right, just keep him there and keep him calm, okay? All right, just reassure him, pat him on the shoulder.
Harrison Okene, desperately cold and frightened, had survived in an air pocket for 2.5 days. And now, the challenge of getting him out.
Okay, just reassure him, give him a thumbs up and reassure him. Okay, reassure him, keep reassuring him.
Mr. Okene was given an oxygen mask and a harness by the rescue team.
Okay, we're putting the hat on so you can breathe, okay? All right, now you mustn't panic, eh? You must listen to me, all right? All right. We're going to take you in the water and we're going to take you to the bell, okay? And then we're going to bring you home, okay? All right. So
All the while, making every effort to keep him calm.
What is your rank? You're the cook. They always survive. You must just
He
breathe nicely,
was the
yeah?
only survivor from a crew of 12.
All right, let's go. You hold your umbilical and you listen to me, okay?
What a lucky man.
Really lucky. And that was remarkable. 3 days. Reminds me of the Jonah story, you know, when he was in the belly of a whale for 3 days.
Well, of course, he was in the belly of a whale. This one was no live creature at all.
Well, that's one remarkable video. And we're glad he survived it.
Well, that's where we ended on News Track on Channels Television. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Charles Aruka.
Thank you so much. I'm Cynthia Are.
Watching Channels Television, broadcasting from Lagos. Up next is the Transformation Agenda.